There was an amazing video put out today by Project Veritas. Not something that basically was shocking to me, because basically had an inkling this was happening. But to you, the viewer, you should know about this. Very important. No matter what side of the political spectrum you are on, it is very important that you spend a moment watching this and go over to the Project Veritas page, give them a subscription and like, and watch the video for yourself. But and it doesn't matter what you think of Project Veritas either. I mean, you know, whether you believe in every article that they've done or not, this is a scary moment in America history, because a lot of the things that, you know, we've been fighting for, you know, we're up to the ultimate test now in our constitutional rights right now. But before we start, don't forget, because this is happening, I ask you to subscribe, like, if you can, support, and also share this video. If you could share this with 10 people, that would be great. I mean, that is most, you know, I tell people is if you can't throw a couple bucks our way, buy our product and all that, even though financially, basically this channel operates by money. So basically, for us to do things, equipment and stuff like that, it does cost us. To have a staff, that costs us. But it's also important to get that information out there. So I've done my best to keep the channel going as strong as possible. Keep making a couple changes here and there just to keep us alive. And basically, you have to understand, there's going to be probably a moment. I don't know if this is going to happen whatsoever, but we've made already arrangements in other places like BitChute, Minds.com, DLive, where if we're gone from the YouTube channel, you'll find us elsewhere at least. It's not that we will close this channel down. We will not close this channel down. We will continue, you know, until we can't continue if they try to shut us down. And basically, you know, that's why we say subscribe. You know, that keeps us going on there. And the likes also. At least it moves us up as far as our videos, you know, our views. I mean, I'm starting to get better views on BitChute than I am here. Okay? So, you know, when you see the difference, you know, it's not a big differential, because we're just still fairly dipping our feet in the water in BitChute, you know, because there's still not a lot of subscribers there. But you could see the difference as far as video to video, when, you know, what we put there and here, how much, you know, we do here and what we do there. And like I said, subscriptions are light on the BitChute end. But like I said, I thank those who have done their due diligence of subscribing and passing this on, and those of you who have supported this show and programming, because, you know, this is not our only program. Man with the Show, American Asylum is not the only shows. We have, you know, the Rabbity Rabbit off to the side there, and we would like to bring you more episodes because it was such a great show back when we were working on it. And, you know, now that my friend Richard is gone, who was the host of the show, I mean, we want to continue his legacy, you know, for his family. And that does cost money. It's not cheap. Remastering, you know, we were talking about Evangelion, the other one, you know, when you do remastering and stuff like that, and you're a big corporation like Netflix, even Netflix has a moment where they're like, well, we can't spend this amount, you know, because it's, you know, it's too expensive. It is possible, even for a big company. Money drives the way things go. And sometimes when you're doing a project, you want to get something out, you know, it costs. And remastering, categorizing. I mean, right now we're in the middle of categorizing it. There's two guys, really good guys, worked on the show for many years also as well. They're the ones who have been entrusted with all of the masters. They're sitting in a warehouse. I mean, we would like to move them to a better warehouse. Better conditionings is on there. I mean, they're in it's a decent warehousing, but unfortunately, it's not completely climate controlled. We want to be able to move it into a better climate control situation. That costs money. Remastering it takes time and money. We have some of the equipment, but there's other equipment we do need to do it. And we would love to bring you more of it. And then also, of course, there is the licensing agreements and copyrights and stuff like that, which we have to go through piece by piece, episode to episode. So that takes up a lot of time. But nonetheless, let's not get away from that, and let's get into this. Basically, Veritas today talked about they had a whistleblower come forward from Google. And what they showed, what they explained was some of the things that were going on. And also they have hidden camera footage from people who work at Google, people who are responsible for the artificial intelligence that basically works with the search bar of what goes in, what doesn't go in, and stuff like that, which is a scary thing in itself. And what you're seeing, and we're not going to go into the videos and stuff like that. We'll clip one or two here or there, so at least you can see something of it. But we're not going to throw a lot of videos on there because it's, we'll let the not to take away from the Project Veritas video on there, because if I show too much, probably we may get shut down or flagged. Let's see if the Veritas video gets flagged. But nevertheless, what happens is it's that basically Google in itself, we know that basically they have been manipulating searches, search bars and stuff like that. And like this.
Men can. And I see men can have babies, men can get pregnant, men can have periods, men can cook. Do most people search for that stuff, or what is the company doing internally?
People aren't searching for this. This is literally coming from source of truth databases that they've selected represent the truth and that they are pulling this information from.
You could see that basically. Go yourself. I did this myself. I typed in men can, women can, and then type in Hillary Clinton emails and see what you get. And you'll get the same thing as I did on that. And that is, it's shocking. It's shocking that you could control something of the nature of what people are looking for. And what you could hear from these people that they say that, they're like, for example, Elizabeth Warren was saying that they should break up Google. And she said the person that's working on the AI even says in the video that she's misguided on the breaking up of Google. Do I believe Google should be broken up? It depends on how it's broken up. I mean, most of you who are younger on my channel would not remember that basically there was a time that our phone company, who used to be called Ma Bell, back many years ago, many years when I was a kid, they were broken up. That's why we have companies like AT&T now and Verizon, and that there are these many different companies now, because basically there was one company and they became the monopoly. They just literally, it just you had no way of getting anything else other than Ma Bell. So you see that. How could you break up Google? It's hard to say. Very hard to say. Now, the other thing is that basically that, they say that they don't have the resources to handle the Trump situation. What do you mean handle the Trump situation? You have two people that they're running for office daily. They put their positions in basically debates. They promote themselves and stuff like that. It doesn't matter what you think of the Russia collusion and stuff like that, which has been disproven and stuff like that. And, you not to get too political, you're always going to have a situation where other countries are going to try to change our political atmosphere. And that has always been that. And I think on our end, we've done the same as well. We're guilty for it as well. If you could go check the last administration between that and Jerusalem, between Israel, you'll see that it has happened. But nevertheless, when you're hearing someone talk about this, and you hear this on the Vertitas video, the undercover video, is like, we don't want this to happen again. We don't want another, in 2020 Trump and stuff like that. I say to that, who gave you the right to judge? And, it's a great line in the movie Soldier Story, where basically, not to give away, the person who murdered the character in there, the staff sergeant, and basically you find out who did it at the end, and Hal Robbins goes off and tells him, he says, who gave you the right to judge? And that's in a very important line, for the reason is, you are, Google as a company is a platform, okay? You should not be left or right when you're dealing with your algorithms, no matter whether you agree or disagree. Now, there is an occasion once in a while you might come across something that, went very dangerous, like terrorism, okay? Whether someone's going to go out and murder, say, a political official or a particular person. In a way, that's when you have to send that to the authorities and block that out. But if someone says, hey, I don't agree with this person, why should they be banned? Or basically, I don't agree with what you say. Or I don't agree. Oh, no, let me refresh that. I don't like this particular movie because. Or I don't like this particular music because. That, does not mean that you should censor the person from speaking. He or she is giving their opinion. There's always a left and a right and the truth down the center. And this is why there always should be conversation. What you're doing is, when you stifle one side of the conversation, you are basically censoring and promoting what you believe should be what everyone should believe. And it's the same thing as when you have companies like PragerU, David Rubin. I mean, even in this, they were talking about, the whistleblower was talking about even Tim Pool. Tim Pool, who is center left. He's not a right winger. He's center left. Even if he doesn't agree with you, there are those on the left who don't agree with a lot of people on the left. Plain and simple. And then there are those on the radical left that basically those on the center left don't agree with them either. But yet they call them that, oh, they went right, that they're right wingers. No, they just don't agree with you. If I don't like chocolate cake and you love chocolate cake, doesn't mean I changed my opinion, all my other opinions. I just don't like this particular thing or particular opinion. The other scary part of this is that basically there are leaked documents that Vertitas put out from this whistleblower, that they're teaching an AI to learn what fairness is. And someone is programming it, and we see that from the videos, that basically, you have, he says, oh, this is what we believe is what's fair and what's equitable. I mean, now you've moved on, when Google says that basically they are a platform and not a publisher, when you say something like that, you're moving yourself to a publisher. So that basically you're violating the letter of the law and the spirit of the law of Section 230. This is why there has to be some changes done to this Section 230 of the law, and I believe there should be. And there is, legislation out there being put out to change this. And it is the truth. I mean, when you see stuff like this and you hear that people are saying this, and, there are documents that are showing editorial policies that basically determines on how they basically publish the news online, what you get as when you type in earthquake or what you type in, like I said, Hillary Clinton emails, and you get nothing in the search bar, as far as the suggestion, and you like, okay, I guess there's nothing there. Or there's nothing there that, would find. You're pushing people away from the truth. And that is Orwellian, 1984. People say, well, no, they think that it's from the opposite end, that we're headed toward 1984. No, it's stuff like this that makes it look like we're headed in that direction from this view that people in Silicon Valley are trying to control the narrative of what you see, what you watch, what movies you should go to, where you should eat, where you should sleep, and basically you would have any choice at all. And that's wrong. That's totally wrong. If I don't like Captain Marvel, I don't like Captain Marvel. Am I going to stifle your opinion of Captain Marvel? No, I'm going to tell you, what's your opinion? Why do you like it? And I'll give you my opinion why I don't like it. There and simple. Not to sit there, as a person working at YouTube or Google, seeing that I'm saying that I don't like it, and I said, well, we'll take their video and we'll just either throw it in the garbage or we won't let anyone else see that. See, I know some of the videos I show here, and you can look at, some days I get a lot of views. Other days I get very minimal views. Other days my views explode. I have views that are in the 600 to 1,000 category. Not many, but they're there. But I haven't seen any that high in a long time. And other YouTubers that I've spoken with agree with me that I should have a lot more views on some of these videos that I put out. I get some good praise in the comments lately. That, they like my videos, and why don't I see more people? I see more content being watched on one particular video where I've gotten maybe a handful on this side, but then I go over to BitChute and I get 3 times the amount. And there's still not a lot of people on BitChute yet. So if I'm getting more views there than I am on YouTube, something is wrong. Something is really, truly wrong. And basically, this is going to escalate. I mean, we already saw with the Pinterest situation and the basically that Pinterest is hiding Christian sites and stuff like that in the X-rated section on there. So like sort of like deserted island in a way, saying on there that they're hiding it there so nobody gets to see it. But yet, you have all these people saying what they say against people, and when they say something that's of the opposite, that's similar to what someone else said on there, and they don't get pulled, it's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. And like I said, Tim Pool's being censored. Quartering is being censored. Yellow Flash, Umbrella Guy, Nick Rekieta, they're all getting Project Veritas. Steven Crowder, and they mentioned Steven Crowder. They mentioned a whole lot. The whistleblower mentioned all these people. David Rubin, didn't David Rubin used to work for Young Turks? Didn't he used to? Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I'm right. But you even have someone who's a feminist, and she's in Canada, and she wrote on Twitter, "Men are not women," and she's not right-winging. And yet they ban her as well. So we have to be careful with this. And we have to speak up. because basically they're programming a computer, an artificial intelligence, to censor us. It's not only Orwellian 1984. There's another series called, movie called Colossus: The Forbidden Project, where a computer, it's sort of like a Terminator type computer that takes over the world of what you think, what you say, how you live, that he's going to control your lives on there, and that's what they're trying to do, is to control, your speech. How far is this going to go before that we have to stamp our foot down and says no more? One way you could do it is stop using Google, and you may say, well, what else can I use? Apple. So there's a site called DuckDuckGo, which basically doesn't block you on there. I mean, this is not an advertisement for them, but this is an alternative. I've started using it on my tablets. And I get a better algorithm on there finding stuff than I do here on Google. But they're a small company, and even though they work very well, they can't get put on computers. They have a way of getting on there, but Google doesn't allow them to be loaded into their systems. They don't allow them to be put on a lot of the Apple stuff. It's blocked. So I would suggest go out, you have a moment, watch this Project Veritas video, and you tell me in the comments below, how do you feel about this? This is the censorship that we're talking about. Everyone says, oh, you have this, it's bad, it's hate, and stuff like that. But yet, these are the people that are telling you it's hate. These are the people that are telling you that you shouldn't be listening to people like me or anyone else on YouTube, because they're afraid that basically they will lose their power. They've been controlling this for quite some time. I've always said an organization, a company, stuff like that, starts out with good intentions, but somewhere in between, depending on who works in there, gets corrupted. Or the old line, it says, you could die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. And that goes true on everything and every day when we listen to what we watch and stuff like that, because we have all these people that will promote a certain narrative but won't allow you to talk about that narrative. They'll push upon itself, this is what it is, and if you don't like it, you're against us. You're hate. You're that German word that I can't use. And here's the other thing. I can't use certain words on here. I can't even, it's hard for me to even use the word, and I'm going to use it, and I'm probably going to get hit on it. Lawsuit. How is that word, demonetizing it? Just for saying that word. There's like a bunch of words we can't even say on here. We get demonetized. How is that freedom of speech? YouTube, Google, you're an American company and should be thrust upon to go by the Constitution. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion. We have all these rights, freedom of press, and basically you're not doing this. And the people will say, oh, but they're just their own personal company. That's right. And if you work for that personal company and they fire you just because they found out what you believe, guess what? You get to sue them because they violated your rights. There is a lawsuit in Google right now going on. There's an antitrust lawsuit, and there's also a lawsuit for firing somebody that basically talked about what he thinks is going on in the company, and they fired him. So comment below. Tell me how you feel. Go over to Project Veritas on YouTube there. I'll put the link below. And tell me how you feel about this. And tell me, what can we do to remedy this? even though this is about politics, this is something that basically today they come for us. Tomorrow they'll come for you. Remember that. And you may deny that, but yet when you see people like Tim Pool and David Rubin and a couple other people that are basically on their side, on the left, being censored as well, because when they freaking question what they've done, you have to say to yourself, where does it stop? When they stop banning people, when they can't, when they literally get no questioning of their authority, that's when it happens. So when you feel that basically that you're not been affected yet, you're being affected. We're on mindsandgab.com. We're on DLive. We are on BitChute. This video might be taken down. It could be taken down by YouTube. I don't know. Let's see what happens. The Vertitas, Quartering also put up a video like that. Let's see how long those last. They already censored Project Veritas video, and they've already censored a Tim Pool video on the Pinterest. So let's see what happens. Until tomorrow, we'll see you. Hopefully we'll still be here. I know I will be here, pushing out what I consider is important to put out. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, let's have that conversation below. Subscribe, like, support, share. We'll see you tomorrow.